Hi, welcome to Sun Digitals. My name is Paul. Today I'm going to show you how you can edit a picture in Photoshop in various ways. Now, before you begin, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also you can give it a thumbs up if you find value in my videos, and also you can share, like. Now, let's begin. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to just come here and go to File, then I'll come to Open. Then I'll look for the picture that I want to edit. So I'll just come here. I'll choose this one here. Then I'll open. Yeah. Now the first thing you're going to do, you're going to duplicate this picture into two. So come to image here. Then I'll come duplicate. Then it will give me this one. Give it a name. Maybe that's true. Then okay. Then it will have another duplicate here. Then again I'll come here, duplicate again, then I'll come here and it will duplicate. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to crop this so that this one are not seen. So I'm going to come here under the crop tool here, then I'm just going to go to the edges to this handle, then I'll just drag and crop this aspect here and also this aspect here, then I'll just tick. So I can also crop above here, but I'll just leave it at that. Then the next thing I'm going to do, you can come here and under the images. If you're not satisfied, maybe you can change the size. So you come to the images. I want to change the image size. I'll come to image size here. You can easily change the image size. Maybe I want to increase it. Maybe I put 1,000 here. Now if you put 1,000 here, you make sure this one is there's something like a chain here is highlighted, which means it will be proportional. So if I put 1,000 here, then I just press OK. You see it will become big. If I want to reduce it, I'll come here again, image size. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the size maybe to 500. So if you realize it's going proportional. If you remove this thing aspect here and you put 1,000, then you say OK. You see what happens, it becomes unproportional. So it is always good to put that change. So the next thing I'm going to press Ctrl Z to undo that one. I'll just work with this size. Then maybe if I want to see the whole picture well, I'll just do outside like that. Now that is how to crop and resize a picture. Okay, the next thing I'm going to insert another picture. So I'll just go back. I'll click here to take me. Is this picture already inserted before? So I'll just click it here. The picture inserted before will always be there. So I'll just do this. This picture I want to do something called spot healing. So I'll just zoom it like so. I want to remove the spots here. Zooming, you press Ctrl plus and the computer zoom, or you can also use this aspect here and zoom in. Ctrl plus and Ctrl minus, you zoom in and out. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose this spot healing here, then I'm going to remove. So I'll click this spot healing, then I'm going to make sure I right click so that I choose the size of the brush. Then I just start removing. You see that spot is removed. I just do like that, like that, like that, like that. Then all the spots will be removed. Yeah, you see that's how you can remove spots, unnecessary spots. Maybe you have a pimple you don't like, you can easily remove using spot healing. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is we're going to now to the image tab. We're going back to the first image that you inserted. I'll just click here. I'll go back to the first image so that you see it. Now this time we're going to edit it. We're going to edit things like brightness and contrast. So I'll come to the images here and come adjustments here. Then I'll choose brightness. You see it's a little bit darker. If I adjust, you see it becomes a little bit brighter. It becomes. I can also play around with the contrast. You see, and play around. Then I just say OK. If I go to the image again, you can also play around with this thing called levels, where you can adjust the brightness, some parts to be dark. This one is where you will set some parts to be darker, some parts to be lighter. You see, as you can see here. So you can play around with this like so. Maybe I want it to be like so. Then I just say OK. What about I also come here with adjustments, and I can also play around with curves. There's also curves here. Make sure you see it. This one determines some parts will be darker, some parts will be light. You can put some points, you can see like so. Then you just press OK. You can also come here and adjustments. You can play around with the exposure, I mean the amount of light in a picture. If you want it to be so bright, you can go like that. And also this offset thing, but you can just leave it at 0 like so. Then I just say OK. You can also come here and play with all this. If you want to make the image black and white, you can just click that one and then it will bring you that, and then you can adjust the way, but I don't want to do black and white. You can also come here under adjustments. Then you can also look at this thing called hue and saturation, whereby you can play around with the colors. You can see you can play around the colors, but I don't want to do that one like so. Now the next thing I'm going to do, you're going to the next image here. This time you're going to play around with the something called filter camera. So I'm going to come here, crop it again, make sure it's the same size, crop it again like so, then I'm tweak. Then I'm going to use something called filter camera raw. But before that, you can also come to the images here. There's this aspect here where you can automatically adjust. You can click tone, it can automatically adjust the color, contrast also automatically. You can also auto color, you can try to correct the color, but I'm not going to do all of that. I'll just come to filter here, then I'll come to filter. Now I'll come to this this thing called camera raw filter. Then you click it, then it will give you this dialog box whereby you can play around with the temperature. You can play around with the temperature. If you want to increase, you can play all the things are here. Maybe you want to make it, maybe you can also increase the exposure like so, maybe the contrast increase like so, maybe the highlights, maybe if the shadows are so much you can also increase, or you can also make it like so. Maybe the whites are so high, maybe you can reduce it, or you can increase them, but I'll just increase it a little bit. The blacks are so high, maybe I introduce, but I'll just put them somewhere there. Then the texture, maybe I'll just leave it like that. You don't have to do it almost everything. There are also these other aspects like curves where you can play around with them, but I don't want to do that. Just leave it the way they were. Then there's also this aspect here, there's also this aspect here. There's the reds, you can play around with the color. Maybe you want some color to be so much, maybe like here I can see blue, maybe I want the blue to be just the color of the blue, maybe adjust it. You see the blue is becoming more blue. You can also play around with this aspect. You see, if you hover here, maybe you see if I hover, click this one presets, if you hover here you can see the color changes. So it's a matter of you of playing around with all these colors. If I press OK, it will change the image like so. Then the next aspect I'm going to show you again, I'll come to the next image, which is this. Also crop it again. So click that, I crop it again so that I remove that unnecessary part. Then I just click or press enter. Then there's this aspect here, you can see it under here called create new fill, create new fill adjustment layer. Click it. It also give me options. Now this is the best one to use compared to the other ones because it's called an destructive way of editing. Maybe I want to change the brightness. I'll just click there, then it will become I'll adjust like so, I'll adjust like so. Maybe the contrast. See, now if I come to the layers, you can see there it has created a layer where I can always go back and double click and adjust again. See, now this is why it is called an destructive picture editing. Maybe if I want to change, maybe I want to play around the levels, also come here, and then okay, just works the same way. Maybe I want to increase the brightness, maybe like so. You see, so you can also use that. You can come here. There are many aspects here that you can also use to edit your color. The next thing, I'll come to this picture here, zoom it out, the one that I put the spots. Maybe I want to change the color of this t-shirt here. Maybe I don't want this red here. What will I do? I'll come here, choose this magnetic lasso, select it like so. I'll select it like so. Maybe I select it like so. Yeah. maybe I don't want red, I want another color. So what will I do? I'll come here, click this one again, then maybe I'll just come to hue and saturation here, then I'll play around with this color. See, the color is changing to green, the color is changing to red. So that's how to change the color of object. But you realize that when you come here, there's some reds that are still there. You can always correct that by using the brush tool. But the first thing, you make sure you click this one, then you choose this sample color using this dropper, choose it so that you have this color here. Then you come here, you come to the brush tools here. Then the next thing you're going to do, make sure you choose this one here. Make sure you choose this one here, and you can play around with the size, maybe reduce the size. Then you can just, you make sure you click, you make sure that you're in this layer, then you can now play around with that so that you can remove those reddish aspects so that it looks naturally green like that. You can always undo so that you do it better, like so, like so, like so. Also here, down here, like so. So that's it. That's how you can manipulate a picture in Photoshop. Now, thanks for watching. Now, kindly subscribe, and also you can share my videos. Also, if you find my videos of value, kindly give me a thumbs up. Have a nice day. Have a nice time.